See what happens when we have a leading black woman. We get realistic portrayals. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be talking about how Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder was important for new femininity representations for black women.
It's just one of them days.
I don't think I can think of a TV show that doesn't have a black director or maker where there is a black woman in the show. And if we do get a black woman, it's usually a caricature of the mammy or the Jezebel. The mammy caricature is usually portrayed as an overweight servant that is asexual, and the appearance of the mammy caricature is usually an overweight person that is darker skinned. It's a mythical thing, it's mythical. And then we have the Jezebel, which is a oversexual, hypersexual person that is just, yeah, that's basically what the Jezebel caricature is. That's also mythical as well. All these things were created to justify slavery and sexual assault, but I'm not going to get into the history of that. That's usually what we are usually portrayed on TV. And so watching Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder was so refreshing to see. Also Insecure, but I will maybe talk about Insecure in a separate video because Insecure is a completely different show to Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder. Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder is quite similar. What we have from Olivia Pope, could you say she's middle-aged? I don't know, but she's older than 30. Her character was not completely progressive because I feel like her character was a little bit whitewashed. The way her character was put forward was to not be too black and not be too white. But then again, what is too black and what is too white? You can say that because there's certain things that it's like, oh, black women don't do this. Her character seemed like it was for crossover status. But anyway, it was still kind of progressive. And there was kind of remixed mummy caricatures in Scandal because she was a fixer for the white elite and she had proximity to powerful white people, but the only difference was that her physical characteristics were different to the normal caricature. But then at the same time, if you continue to watch towards the end, she was very all about herself. Towards the end, she was kind of like, oh, you know what, bun you lot, I'm all about me, I'm getting my success, da 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 da. And so, you know, as time went by, she kind of started thinking more about herself, didn't really care about the white elite and all sorts. She also turned down an offer of being a first lady with Fitz, which was quite nice because I feel like the mammy thing would have been even worse if she was first lady. The things that I did think that were very refreshing about her character was that she wasn't an asexual character, which they like to do with black women. Like, they never like to give us love interests in the movies which is annoying, but they gave her plenty, but not in a Jezebel kind of way. Do you know what I mean? So that's what was quite refreshing. I just really think that was the most refreshing thing to see, the fact that they were given relationships. And also when she was in relationships, she was in control. She never really settled. She kind of picked who she wanted, something that people tell black women that we can't do. She picked who she wanted. She was in control of her dating life. I also like the way that she was presented. I just like that, you know, they gave her expensive clothes, you know, expensive looking clothes. They put her together really well. She was very in control of her business life as well. She was the head of her consulting firm. She had a team that did work for her. It was implied that her father and her mother kind of gave her generational wealth because her father was the head of B613, which basically ran the country. Her mum was somebody that sold government secrets, which is just refreshing. We get a accomplished black woman that has two parents that are accomplished. Let's not say that their characters were good people, but it was different to what we usually get. It doesn't really matter whether the character was good or bad. It's the fact that it's not a stereotypical role. So even though Olivia Pope and her parents were not necessarily good people in the show, it was just refreshing to see that they weren't a stereotype. I'm the kind of person that when I watch TV, sometimes I actually like the anti-heroes. Sometimes, like, people when they watch TV, they like the anti-heroes, and I kind of like the anti-heroes sometimes. So yeah, her father and her mother were kind of anti-heroes in the show, but they weren't drug dealers. They weren't in gangs. They weren't pimping women. They were part of the governments. They rebelled against the government. They worked for the government, and you know, it was just a different kind of villain that we are used to seeing in TV when it comes to black people, which was refreshing. But anyways, we were talking about black women. Olivia, also her character basically looked up to the fact that she was the main character. She was always the main character, and it never, like, the focus never really wavered from her all the way till the end, which was really nice to see. But then this is why I say it wasn't perfect, because she did have an affair with the president. But the reason why it wasn't completely like a, I don't know, some people may think different, but I think they tried to make it because they actually loved each other. So maybe they tried to go away from making it a kind of deceitful relationship, but at the end of the day it was a deceitful relationship. So kind of wish that wasn't thrown in there. This could be progressive and this could not be progressive. This could be kind of like their remixed version of the Jezebel caricature. It could be, but it could also be that black women are human, and just because one black woman does this doesn't mean you can label all black women the same way. And I think maybe that is also very progressive for us, because I feel like sometimes when one person from the black ethnicity makes a mistake, they tend to just be like, oh, see, this is why black people, see, that's what people do. And that's not fair, because people from every ethnicity make mistakes. So maybe that's another thing. And also, I don't think that writers should make black people on TV perfect, because that's just a way to just kind of be like, see, white people, we are good people. We do deserve acceptance. No, we can be who we are who we are. Everyone makes mistakes. It doesn't mean that they don't deserve acceptance. So I guess that is kind of progressive at the same time, but it just depends how you look at it. So anyways, that's what I think of Scandal. Let's go on to How to Get Away with Murder, because I think How to Get Away with Murder was amazing for black women. I think just the way they, it was just great. It was absolutely great. It was great. It was just amazing. I've watched it twice and I'll watch it again. I'll watch it again and again. Anyway, okay, Annalise was kind of the same as Olivia. She was accomplished, she was the head of her own firm, she was a professor, she was an amazing lawyer. I think with How to Get Away with Murder, it was little things with that one. They did put in race issues there, and also the fact that Viola Davis actually put things in that she wanted to, for example, when she took off her wig and took off her makeup and wore her natural hair and things like that, that was really good. And this, see what happens when we have a leading black woman, we get realistic portrayals. With Annalise, she was the same. She was not hypersexual and she was an older woman. No Mamie caricature, she was an accomplished woman. Also, what I loved about it is that in the beginning of the show, she was married. Then when her husband got killed, she continued to date. Black women are not asexual beings, alright? I love the fact that they continue to show that black women do date, we're not asexual beings, because honestly it's really annoying that they do that. So yeah, I love the fact that they both had relationships. They had meaningful relationships as well, just beyond physical. There were emotional connections. Also, remember the scene where she went home, she took off her wig and she took off her makeup? That was a very powerful scene. It just kind of shows that still we can't always wear our natural hair to work. We can't do stuff like that. We can't not wear makeup to work. We always have to look a certain way, because white supremacy is still alive and well today. So the fact that she took off her wig and her makeup kind of shows, you know, the two faces that she has to show in order to be accepted into the world, but also it's very realistic, because this is what we all do. People like us black women that wear wigs, whenever we wear wigs, we go home, we take it off and we take off our makeup and we go to bed, whether we sleep with a silk pillow or a bonnet. And if you do sleep with a wig on, you are wearing a bonnet or a scarf. Like, it's just little things like that, like going to bed without your wig on or with a scarf. Is little things like that is very, very big for us. We notice these things, and I think that was very big and very important. And she actually chose to do that, Viola Davis, and also let's just say Viola Davis is a pioneer. She's a pioneer, okay? Not only she's an amazing actress, she addresses certain issues. She used her platform to address this, and people may think it's small, but it's not, because she just wanted to be like, this is what black women do and this is what we do. And that is just like, that little thing was so powerful. Sometimes we still can't wear our natural hair to work. If you go to school, you get suspended and all of that stuff. Sometimes if you wear your natural hair. So I hope when people watch it, they can get that that's why she done it, and also to show that black hair is beautiful. Sadly, we don't always have the choice to show that because of white supremacy. It's not that we choose not to, it's that we just need to get by, which is why things need to change. Also, I love the fact that in the last season, when she was in court and she represented herself so that she wouldn't go to jail for all the crimes them kids did, but I love the fact that she wore her natural hair. And there was a scene where she was kind of debating, should I wear a wig, should I wear my natural hair, is it too real? When she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, like she was not playing. But yeah, just little things like that is what we think and why we choose to do the things we do or choose the hairstyles we choose. She was like, is it too real? Like, and the hair isn't loose curls. So I just think it was so important to see that, and I think that was like a really big moment for TV. And the fact that she ended the show like that was so important. When she represented Nate's dad, honestly guys, that whole storyline was so emotional. When she did the speech in the courthouse for him, guys, I shedded a tear. Like, Viola Davis is such a good actress, like, honestly. But that storyline was amazing. It also addressed the police system in America on the show. Also, Michaela's portrayal was quite interesting as well. She wasn't portrayed as the asexual type. She had relationships. The people that she went out with, especially the black men or the mixed race men, they were available. But then with Annalise, Nate, he wasn't available at the time. She was a main character, and also the way she was portrayed, she was very driven. She developed as a character. She was quite annoying, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like her character. I just like the differences in character. We need to be afforded those kind of decisions. They just really thought about the characters, and they didn't just slap a stereotype. You can tell that they really thought about the characters. I don't know about you, but if I have watched a show and there's like one black character in it, or like two, I usually just automatically like the black person, because there isn't many, and you know what, I just want to root for the black person, you know, do you know what I mean? But with How to Get Away with Murder, we were giving a range of diverse ethnicities, so we were kind of able to create like bonds with the characters without being like, oh, let me just root for this person because they're black, but just root for the person because we like their character or we didn't like their character. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I thought was refreshing about Michaela's character as well. We were just given different black people with different personalities, and again, like I said, we have black people on TV. We don't always need them to be perfect because that's not realistic. We just want to build character bonds with people because we like their character, not just because, oh my gosh, you're the only black person on the show. But I'm not saying that's everyone, but that's me, because that's just really sometimes what I do when I don't really see a lot of black people on TV and there's like one or two. But with How to Get Away with Murder, we were forwarded a range of different black people. Also, I want to talk about Cicely Tyson's character, Annalise's mum. Another pioneer and legend. But I just love how she was portrayed in the show. She was portrayed as a affectionate mother. She would do all that she can at all costs to protect her children. And sometimes when you watch TV shows and, you know, there's issues with the family, or like sometimes with the mums, this is something that I feel is a stereotype, but sometimes we have the black mums that don't really care about the children, that only care about some random man that they're dating at the time. But we didn't get that with her. There's no end to what they can do with stereotypes on TV. So it was nice to see something that wasn't a stereotype like that, and it was just nice to see a different kind of family dynamic. Her family dynamic wasn't perfect. Not everyone's family dynamic is perfect anyway. And also it makes sense for character development. Like, for example, if we give Dexter, his family life was horrible and he had adopted parents, which was essential for his character development. So if we have a black character that has got a family dynamic that isn't great, it is sometimes essential for character development. And that's what we usually get with main characters anyway, because we need character development. It's looking up. The new representation for femininity for black women is looking up. But I will say that this representation needs to also trickle down to the younger girls. We're not getting it for the younger girls. We're not getting it. The only other show that I will say that we're getting it for the younger girls is Insecure, but that's another video. We need more of that representation for younger women as well, and also kids as well. Honestly, these two shows were very, very important for new feminine representation for black women. But I would, yeah, encourage you to watch Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder. If you haven't, probably have, that's why you're watching it, otherwise it wouldn't make sense. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!